What's up, YouTube? Spencer Smoot again. I think it's day 9, or something like that. 10. I started on like the first or second, so it's like 10. Anyway, um, yeah, just in panic mode now. Um, I have a paper due tomorrow, and I'm just having a hard time writing it. I need a 90% on my paper to pass the class. However, I've been getting like 76s and 77s on my last two papers, so I have to kind of bring up the skill a lot. And in my panic mode consists of me literally trying to just curl up in a ball and just hide. It's the fight, flight, or flee. I'm trying to go into the fight mode of doing it. Just need a state change. I'm just trying to get there. Not very good nights. Was talking to my tutor about writing, and really the overall conversation was that I don't think like a writer. I don't think like an academic writer, and the problem is that I take things too personally a lot of times. In my past, I've been called stupid a lot, so it kind of just kept on getting at me. So I don't feel like I'm smart. It just feels bad for me. I've been trying to kind of shake it, but yeah, it's just not. I'm not in a good state today. I was trying to just kind of, I was watching some E3 stuff, maybe get that all out. You know, just trying to talk myself up and kind of just change my state, but it's not working out. So maybe I'll just take a ride somewhere or something. Um, yeah, but overall, it's yeah. I mean, it's not as I wish I was as happy as yesterday. But at the same time, going back to failure wise, if I don't get through this class, then I can come back and just not come back to school, but just take, classes online to finish up the degree if that's needed. I don't know if I'm going to do that. Across the bridge when I get to it. Even though I kind of hate that saying. But it's, yeah, it's an interesting day today, right? So, staying up and staying good. Bad thoughts are coming in, and um, it's not. It's just one of those times in I broke at the seams, and I have to stitch myself together. But this is the issue of school that I'm having, and I've been having for years, is that I don't get the time to do that. So I do a lot of patchwork on my brain, a lot of patchwork in my head. Um, and the problem is that it's since it's all patchy in my brain, I'm not as strong as I want to be. I'm not as in control as I want to be, which is extremely frustrating. Extremely frustrating to be at will of a disease and at will of of a bad mindset. I don't want to be in this mindset, but the thing is that I am, and I have to kind of deal with it. I have to deal with whatever that is, and hopefully, through this journey of getting out of college, for better or for worse, or if I pass or not, I'll actually have some time to do some healing wise, because in school it's just not possible. I had to take I was trying to do it while I was in school, and we were experimenting with medicine, antidepressants, and things like that. And that stuff would knock me out for a couple of weeks, and then in a quarter system, and you're kind of screwed, and especially depending on when that happens. So if it's at the beginning, or if it's at the beginning, it's decently okay. You can kind of recover, but if it's the end, it's over. That happened to me one quarter, I think, last year. I had to do a medical withdrawal, because my brain wasn't there. Like, it's bad. So today is going to be a hard day. I mean, it's been hard already. I woke up at 8, I'm just saying, hey, I want to fucking get this done, looking at it, but then, bad thoughts of me not being smart enough, me wanting to kill myself, things like that, which I'm not going to, so don't freak out about it. It's just, because those are thoughts that run in my brain most of the time, suicidal ideology, as the shrink said to me. But it's more about it's just stronger today, and it takes more will to quiet those things. And it just sucks. It just sucks. I mean, I need to perform today, and I have a speech on Thursday I need to give to the veteran and a veteran commencement, which is I'm excited for. I'm scared to death of that, but whatever. I'm trying to get outside my box. But yeah, it's a struggle today. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I just wanna fucking play video games and chill out and try to just process this stuff, but I can't, and that's the issue. Is not being able to process and not having the tools to kind of deal with it and get my brain into the right state. Because I'm fully capable of writing a paper. And that's another thing that's extremely frustrating is that in the past, I mean, I've done a lot of training. I started out, in the beginning, like 4 levels below what I was supposed to be at, with writing, or something of that sort. And then I kind of, I took classes and I got, I can write things and things like that. But then, I went into video games, and we don't really write that much in video games, not academically. We write postmortems and things like that of like what happened, or like game design documents, but there's no real like academic writing of like arguments and then proving those arguments and things like that. Like another writing class. So I kind of lost that skill a little bit. I also what's that red light thing? That's weird. I also uh, I lost that, and it's also that my brain doesn't really shift gears very well, or easily anymore. Because I think it's a lot of the patchwork stuff. I used to be able to kind of just bam, bam, bam. But recently, especially this year, I've had issues with getting distracted, or uh, like with my team, talking to my team, with the video game thread, talking to them and trying to do work on this, like on the side, programming and stuff like that. Then what happened was I would lose my place, or whatever, and it seems like my memory's getting worse. And time is something that's kind of weird to me, in a way of which it just kind of doesn't seem like time goes by. It seems like I'm kind of just still stuck in time, if that makes sense. It doesn't really make sense to me, so it's okay if it doesn't. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'll make it. And like I said, if it's a failure, like yesterday, I'll take it on the chin and say, cool, let me get better at it. I do want to get better at it. I do want to be able to express my opinion and things like that in a decent manner. But the issue is that right now is I don't have the capacity of actually changing my mindset very easily, and also I don't have the capacity right now to really get my, like, it's a completely different thing than what I've been doing for the last 3 years at UC Santa Cruz. I haven't had to write a paper like this. Like I wrote one in the beginning, without help. I got like a 72. I got freaking slaughtered. I got help. I got a 70, like 6 or something. But that's because at the end, like my tutor couldn't really help me, because just time stuff. So like it was a better paper, but there's still just stupid errors in it and things like that. And then yeah, at the end of it, like now it's just my tutor's trying to help me. I'm getting frustrated because she wants me to kind of think in a certain way. I don't think in that way. And then the thing is, with my brain, I just feel personally attacked most of the time, which is not like, that's not the intent that she was trying to. But the problem is that that it's just, I have poison in my brain. You know, I have poison and I need to get it out. Really, I mean, that's the baseline of it. You know, I like certain actions of mine. You know, just show that I just have this thing that is trying, just changing my reality, um, and changing what I, how I see interactions. Right, like it's there's a lot to that. There's a lot of past stuff, with you know, being in school. You know, through high school, or through middle school and high school, I had a learning disability, whatever that was. They never really said what it was. And then, you know, I've heard I was stupid most of my life in school. And then what happened yesterday is, like, you know, you don't think like you should, or you think like you need to. And the issue was that you know, it just started, you know, like a few statements are good, but we were talking about 5 hours about it, and it just kind of just chinked at my armor and just kind of got me to a point at which I started, you know, thinking, I realized that I have no fucking chance. You know, I broke down and cried yesterday because I just want to fucking graduate, you know, um, and the thing is that controlling this stuff, uh, is so hard. Like the amount of heavy lifting that I have to do in my brain just to be what I'm supposed to be as a student is so, it feels like in basic training, right? We've got smoked all the time, and for civilian people, being smoked means worked out all the time. So we do like push-ups all the time, sit-ups all the time. You know, we'd run over here, run over there, and then by the end of basic training, your body's kind of just messed up. It didn't have time to heal. So what it feels like, that it feels the same way in my brain. You know, because once I got out of basic training, all of my PT scores went up, right? I was running like a 6 minute mile. I was doing 12-minute 2 miles, right? And I was freaking, you know, that never happened in basic training because they would, you know, work us out before the PT test, and, you know, freaking we'll do the PT test and then we'll work out some more, right? But it's like, you know, being asked to do 100 push-ups at the end of basic training after being smoked for, you know, half the day, right? Like it feels like I'm on, you know, 80 right now, and everything in my brain and everything, in it feels like my soul is saying, just fucking stop, right? But the thing is that what I realized about myself is that I'm fucking full of grit. like uh, like there's so many times in which I should have, yeah, I could have just ended it, right? But I said, I'm just gonna fucking stick it out and just fucking do this, right? And it's hard, you know, it's hard. And will life get better for me? I think it will. um you know, I finally will be able to put me as me first. You know, being in school wise, I thought I should have. I'm in school, for multiple reasons. You know, firstly, I went to I joined the military to go to school, right? So if I fail wise, it feels like I went through all that shit in Iraq and things like that um, to just fail, right? So that's a huge factor with me. Even though I feel like I should have left about 2 to 3 years ago, but yeah. And then also, my parents are a big factor of it. You know, now they say you didn't have to do it, but the thing is that I've always been pushed to. You know, both of my parents have master's degrees, one in computer science and one in public health. Yes, I'm 30, about to be 33, but the thing is that I haven't actually left the cradle yet, if that makes sense. I haven't um, I got out of high school. I went into college, I failed out of college the first time. I went into, after that I went to the army, right? And then after the army, I went to back to college, right? So I've been kind of taken care of in a way, uh, most of my life. And the thing is that that's also something I got to work on. I haven't really been on my own. And also, and it's not that if I said I don't want to do school anymore, it's just more about the disappointment and things like that, and kind of just the self-talk, the talk about it and stuff. So that's part of it. Another part is that I want to try to be someone that finished what they started. Now I'm seeing kind of the errors in that of, sometimes you just have to leave the game. In a way, just kind of just say, okay, cool, this is not the thing that I'm finding most important with this journey, and especially that I'm at the start of it, is that mental status is the most important thing. Nothing else really matters except for mental status. So if you're in a decent mental status, or your good mental status, or mental state, or whatever you want to say, status, state, same thing, and you can just take on the world, right? Like that's what I feel, is that being being able to bounce back from things without kind of being crippled is one of the biggest skills and biggest challenges about life, I think. Currently I don't bounce back very fast, right? Like I don't and I try to be, I feel like I'm a little dramatic with what I have sometimes because of just the shit that's in my brain, right? Negative self-talk, stuff like that. It's all about the negative self-talk that starts, and that's that seed that it destroys, right? Like today it's all been negative self-talk of and trying to blame my tutor for me not understanding, or blame somebody else or something else. And the thing is that I have to own up to it. I have to say, hey, like, yes, I want the degree, and I have to do the things for it. All right. um do I think academic writing is as high on a platform that some say or some have? No, I think it has its uses, but I think that there's a lot of things that academia thinks they're doing right, but I think they're doing wrong. It's a very elitist place to be in. Even at UC Santa Cruz, right? Most people here have money. Most of the people here you know, they get a degree, and then something's supposed to change for them, right? And or being, there's a lot of people that guard their profession, right? Or a lot of professors do that, or overall just be, um, it's getting grades is an interesting thing, because getting grades is a judgment, right? It's a judgment of what material you've learned and what skills you have. At the end of the day, wise, is a college degree better? Statistically, it is. Statistically, you get paid more money, and then therefore value and things like that. It's a weird value prop, right? But um, the thing about it to me is that it's not. Uh, it's just, I feel people make up stuff, and people make up stuff strictly to perpetuate the lifestyle that they have, or to increase their, how do I say it, their status, right? It's just I think that a lot of things in academia is made up, um, and it's overly complicated in some ways. And sometimes, I mean, yes, there needs to be complicated things about life and things like that. But the thing is that I think that since it's academic, then something has to be more complicated. Versus if it's something like, uh, but expressing ideas. This is why I like Gary Vee a lot, is because his ideas are profoundly deep, but given as a in a way of which it doesn't like seem like it's just like, too much, right? It's like it doesn't it's kind of layman's, I guess. I don't really like that, but it's just that, right? For me, it's a thing. But going off, I was off topic for a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it's what's crazy is I kind of feel better now that I'm talking about it. So thank you, YouTube, and thank you, for, I get to be able to put this online and stuff. But the biggest thing for me is that I'm just gonna try to go get a state change somewhere. I'm probably gonna go eat. I kind of do 1 to 2 meals a day. Well, I kind of do one meal and then a whole bunch of junk food. That's kind of my current craziness. Because I'm just feeding my emotions and shit. But that's gonna end soon, real soon, like the 15th soon. So graduation's my day of me being done. Me being done with this and being able to just um, do me, right? Like I've had to not do me for a long time. I've had to kind of just make this shit up and be a student, right? I've been playing as a student for a long time. I don't think that I love learning, but I don't think that I don't think school has been for me, right? I'm not I don't excel at it. I don't, um, I think a lot of it's crap, right? I think a lot of it we just we just take for no reason, right? We'd have to take classes to expand ourselves, but the thing is that it's an old model. I think the internet changes that stuff, and I think that it's overall just that. But whatever. People probably disagree and things like that, but that's how I feel currently. I can definitely change my mind later, and I can definitely, I'm not afraid to be wrong. That's one of my things. But yeah, yeah, I just don't think that most people, um, whatever. Anyway, so y'all have a good day. Thanks for listening. Bye.